Hi, I'm Monica Medina and welcome to Reelblack. Last March, Reelblack had the privilege of hosting the Philly premiere of How to Eat Your Watermelon in White Company and Enjoy It, the definitive documentary on the life of independent film maverick Melvin Van Peebles was just released on DVD. We traveled to Brooklyn to meet up with the film's director, Joe Angio, for this exclusive sit-down interview.
We started shooting the film we shot a mini DV, and this was new then, you know? There were these electronic stores, Nobody Beats the Whiz, but they had this program, or not even a program, a sales policy where you could buy the camera and return it within a week. So I bought a camera on a Friday, returned it on Sunday after the shoot, and did that for the first couple shoots. And that was how we started financing the film initially. And after a few shoots into it, we were like, you know, we can do this.
Sweetback set a tone where people were really considering, well, maybe you can beat the man.
For Melvin to come when he did and show a film where we were the victor, that's monumental.
Sweetback is the tip of the iceberg. Filmmaking goes a little deeper, then below the surface there's all this stuff that very few people ever heard of. Melvin invented himself 4 or 5 times over, had no training in any of these fields, and taught himself how to do it. Music, for instance, he didn't have the money to pay for a composer for his first feature film, which was a French film, so he taught himself to play the piano by devising the system of numbering the keys, 1 through 88, and then we would get someone to transcribe it into musical note. When he learned French, he moved to France when his 3 short films were shown there while he was studying to get his PhD in astronomy at the University of Amsterdam. And he learned pretty early on there that there was this, government arts grant that would allow the author of a French work, not a French author of a French work, to apply for a grant to transform their book into a film. So we started writing in French. I mean, think of people you know or who are struggling to write their first novel, and he in a few years' time just cranks out 5 novels in French.
He said, I'm gonna do what I wanna do.
What happened with me is, if I don't see it, then I do it myself. That's what happened with the film, that's what happened with music, that's what happened with writing. I didn't see the type of things I wanted to see, so I did it myself.
In the mid-'80s, he became the first black options trader on the American Stock Exchange. And as a couple years went on, as I was kind of walking around, talking to people about this, I would find that no one knew any of this stuff. So everything he did was, he kind of found a way to make it work for him. And that was the thing that just really spoke to me. It was just it's just this incredible story of, of a kind of human will or fearlessness in a way. When I shoot, I tend to have the filming process be my research, because I think if it's something that is fresh to me, when I find out about something for the first time, it's going to be fresh to the audience. I would say the first real revelation in the shooting was the magnitude of Melvin's music. It's not like I was trying to engage in some kind of revisionist history or anything, but Gil Scott-Heron and the Last Poets, when you talk about hip-hop, they're always kind of there as, the real progenitors of it, the forefathers. And we have, Gil Scott-Heron in the film saying, people call me the godfather of rap, but I've always had to explain, you got to go back to the people like Melvin and Oscar Brown Jr., where he said Melvin in particular, people who put a story inside the song. So we're not saying, Melvin was the godfather of hip-hop, but if you're going to look at it and trace it back to Gil Scott-Heron, he's saying you got to, trace it back a little further.
I have the housing solution. Here goes. Hookers and the homeless.
If there's ever a day where I'm really serious about this. If there's when I just kind of feel man, I just don't feel like doing this or doing that, he kind of can get me out of bed, to go and try to. There was just no quit in him, and he's, and he didn't have the even obvious advantages that I have growing up or anything, and it's just real. He's just, like I said earlier, this epitome of fearlessness. Because we all, the biggest obstacles we have are ones we create for ourselves, you know? And not to mention the legitimate ones that are out there, but the biggest ones are ones of our own making, and he doesn't even acknowledge them, you know? So anytime I kind of feel a little lazy or something, I think of him and of how, you know, he would be not respecting me right now if I was give into this.